As I have learned from our text and from the other students in my group, Livna's stage model of adjustment to disability is a model that encompasses 5 stages. Prior to this class, I had not heard of Livna, Antonuk, or this model. Livna's stages are initial impact, defense mobilization, initial realization, retaliation, and final adjustment or reintegration. This model set forth by Livna and Antonuk is a model of adjustment described as a reaction to a sudden and unexpected permanent disabling condition. Although I also see this model applying to parents of children who are born with or acquire a disability, looking at the losses that are experienced and the periods of adjustment by the family. Livna describes his first stage or initial impact as a period of shock and disbelief by the individual and the family, and overwhelming anxiety to the point of a possible anxiety attack. The second stage is termed defense mobilization and involves bargaining and denial, where the person or the family make deals and bargain with God or a higher power for a cure. Livna and Antonuk view denial as a defense mechanism to deal with overwhelming sadness and fear of the unknown through optimism and hope that the condition will improve. The third stage is initial realization and includes mourning and depression, where the pre-morbid life is grieved. Livna asserts that depression can last longer than grief, and at this stage, the person asks, "Why me?" Retaliation is the fourth stage and is seen as hostility and rebellion towards the outside world. At this stage, individuals can lash out to others, including healthcare professionals, and people at this stage are angry at God or a higher power. The fifth and final stage is the final adjustment or reintegration stage. At this stage, the person or parent has a cognitive acceptance of the disability and its permanence. The individual begins to learn to problem solve and master his environment and may develop goals in new directions. I would think at this stage the client optimally benefits from our services in rehabilitation counseling. The client may finally attempt to navigate barriers socially and physically and may now be able to discuss the condition or disability without becoming upset. This stage may allow the client to see beyond the disability and seek education and consider employment possibilities. I agree with Judith when she said, as a counselor to individuals who are blind or visually impaired, she sees clients stuck for years in depression, and though she tries to help, some seem to never make progress. Miguel said it is to be understood that when a person finds him or herself with a new disability, there will be a period of time that the person will need to adjust. He said the length of time will be dependent on the person's ability to learn and adapt to a new way of living. People are individuals and may go through these stages at different rates with varying intensities, or may skip a stage or stages altogether. I think this model, because this model does not address the adjustment process of congenital disorders, Livna or others must address this topic in other theories or models. Interestingly, Livna's stages are strikingly similar to the Kubler-Ross model or the 5 stages of grief, which hypothesizes a series of emotions experienced by someone faced with death. Her 5 stages of denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance were highlighted in her 1969 book of Death and Dying. Lastly, I agree with Miguel that by becoming more familiar with Livna's model and using it with clients, we will develop a heightened understanding and a better client-therapist relationship.